Great, so here's our meat mixture. It's cooled off, and now I'm going to start getting it into the pie crust. So here is our prepared pie crust and our sheet of puff pastry, which I rolled out to get a little bit bigger since it's a bit small. And I have an egg and our water for the pastry brush. Now the egg is for the egg wash. So I'm just gonna crack the egg into this container because I'm not using all of it, and I can save egg wash in the refrigerator and use it for anything else. So I'm just gonna crack it open and voila. There we go. And I'm just gonna, before I make this dirty, we're gonna do what's called docking. I told you this when we made the green curry chicken pie. We're gonna dock the crust at the bottom, and this helps prevent big bumps from the crust puffing up and making a big, so now, there we go. So that's called docking. We just take a fork, puncture the crust a couple times on the bottom, and that helps prevent it from bubbling up and it keeps it more flat. Okay, now with our fork, I'm just gonna break up that egg. And this is called, we're making egg wash, basically. Now, I like to put a tablespoon of hot water and a pinch of salt in there as well. So, and then that way I can use that over the top of our puff pastry. If you recall, when I made the green curry chicken pie, the refrigerator had broken, so my eggs were in the garbage because they were sitting in an unworking refrigerator for many days, and I didn't have one. Now, the crust on that came out nice and golden brown, and truthfully, I'm wondering if I even need it, but now this will be a great experiment because when we're finished, I can compare. That is our green curry chicken pie. I had a slice already, and so did Miss Melissa. It was pretty good. And it is nice and golden brown. So we shall see, is this necessary? Is this egg wash process absolutely necessary? If not, why bother? Okay, save the egg. That's extra cholesterol. Maybe I'll never do this again. Who knows? But we should experiment. Okay, so let me start getting the meat mixture in here. So I've got our meat filling inside the pie crust. That was 1 pound of beef, and luckily it fills this pretty good. Maybe next time I'd put even maybe a pound and a quarter of beef, make it a bit fuller. But I'm gonna take our pastry brush with water, and I'm gonna brush it along the edges, okay? Because we wanna sort of glue together the puff pastry to this pie crust that we have here. And it has such a nice ridge, but I need to combine the two, so I'm gonna put our puff pastry on top. So now, if you're at home, obviously you can use 2 hands because you're not holding a camera at the same time, but hopefully this will work and I don't mess it up. All right, there we go. Okay, so now what I want to do is press it down on the edge to glue it together. Since I put water on it already, hopefully it'll stay there and do well. And again, we're gonna have to cut a seam in the center. So I'm just gonna cut like that, and that'll help release any steam that builds up. And I'm gonna have to trim the excess that we have here. So I'll trim that. And then what I'm gonna do again is I'm gonna go around with a fork and I'm gonna crimp the edges. So since I'm brushing this with egg wash anyhow, I can use this fork that I had in there. So what I'll do is I'll press down like this to seal the 2 crusts together. Before I do though, I'm gonna trim that off, so I need 2 hands. Okay, so I've crimped all around and I've trimmed it off, and now I'm gonna brush it with the egg wash, and then I will put it into a 425-degree oven. So it's at 425, and we'll put it in for 15 minutes and then reduce the heat to 350 and another 25 minutes to bake. And so I'm covering this generously with our egg wash. Hopefully it'll come out looking gorgeous. All right, now I'm leaving those extra pieces on the pan so you can see how big puff pastry rises if there's nothing else, you know, if it's not pushed down or anything. It's kind of fun to watch that. So in it goes. Ta-da! All right, guys, this is so exciting. Let's see. Ooh, look how nice that looks. All that puff pastry puffed up. Ah, it looks gorgeous. Okay, so I'm so excited I forgot to get the pot holder. I gotta get this out of the oven. All right, it is in there for 15 minutes at 425. Then I took it, turned down the temperature to 350 and had it in for 25 minutes. And oh, look at that. That looks so good. Now, I must say, comparatively, look at the crust on the other pie and this crust. Yes, the egg wash makes it look better. So it's okay if you don't have the egg, but look how much better that looks. That's amazing. All right, so this is fantastic. And so I also cooked the puff pastry on the side so you can see how high up it puffs. Okay, and then these I can just crumble up and use them as crumbs or eat it. I'll just take a bite out of it like a biscuit. Yum. Okay, but anyhow, I have to plate this up for you guys so you can see what it looks like on the inside. I'll be right back. Okay, so here we have our meat pie. And I'm gonna cut right into it. Oh, it looks so good. All right, now I don't want to cut through the bottom pan, but I do want to make sure this will come out. Remember I told you, whenever you're cutting a pie like that, first slice usually comes out a bit of a mess. It's the second slice that is always going to look perfect. It smells delicious. Oh, still stuck. There we go. Yay, look at that. It looks great. There is our Australian meat pie, and it has the ground beef, onions, mushrooms, golden crust. There we go. So this is going to taste absolutely delicious. Worcester sauce. Awesome. Can't wait to try it. So I hope you guys liked and enjoyed learning how to make this, and maybe you'll make it at home, and it should be exciting. And if you recall, in the video we saw them eating it with some ketchup on it. So if you want, you can always put a little bit of ketchup on top of yours and enjoy it that way too. All right, take care, everybody.